Hi guys, name's Andrew and here's my first YouTube video. I just wanted to give you a bit about my vaping journey, where I came from, where I am, where I'm going to, and give you a bit of advice for anyone out there that's not so sure on the terms, that and the other. So I'm going to try and break things down for you and tell you what I think is good, what's not good, and what you need to get started essentially. So I used to be quite a heavy smoker. We're talking about 20 a day for the best part of a year now. And I always knew about vaping, but I never really thought it was for me. I thought it's a bit weird. I didn't know how safe it was, this, that and the other. But back in July I gave it a go. I bought myself one of these little things from the corner shop. It was about £15 and it was alright. It was very basic, and I didn't used to quit. I used to cut down, so I went down to 10 a day and this. But after about a month or so on this, I decided it wasn't really good enough and I just went back smoking continually. Then back in November, a good friend of mine who was into vaping took me down to the local shop and I saw some bits and bobs, gave them a go, and I really liked it. So I bought myself one of these. And I mean, yeah, size wise it's like a walkie-talkie. I mean, compare this to my iPhone, there's not a lot of size difference, but it's worth it. So if you're looking to get into vaping, these little things are great. This is called an Ego Twist. It's really simple. It's just two parts. It's a battery with a little connector that you put into a charger, so you stuck into that, so you can do USB port and it will charge. So if you don't have access to a main, you just have access to your laptop or whatever, it's quite handy. It's very pocketable. Like, there's no pocket you can't fit that into. I said I think they're about £15, and if you want a new tank, they're about £3-4, so it's not a lot of money at all. Taking a step up from that, you go to box mods and tanks. So again, this is two parts. Oops. Get it off. On the bottom, you've got this thing called box mod, quite simply because it's shaped like a box. What this does is it takes bigger batteries. Here you've got two 18650s, 3.7 volts each, and they're rated, I think, 2600 milliampere hours, where that is 400. So 400 compared to 5200 combined, it's a lot more power. This is one of the better box mods, more powerful box mods out there, because it's sized and a lot of the features. I mean, this was 60 for the box, 20 for the batteries, and the tank was 30, so that's what, £110. And I mean, for a lot of people who want to get into vaping, that might seem like a lot of money, and it is. I mean, personally, if you're starting into vaping, one of these is a bit overkill, and if you don't like it that much, then you've wasted 100 quid. So I'd try one out. So why is this better than this? Okay, so I'll have a quick vape on this and show you what it does. Flavour's not too bad, the cloud isn't that impressive, but it'll still give you nicotine hit eventually. Whereas this is currently on, what we vaping on, 30 watts at the moment, and this box is capable of 100, so it's just to give you an idea. Yeah, it really chucks out the clouds, and now it's going to be floating around my room for the next 10 minutes. So yeah, this box is called a Segalia 100. You still see it. This is called a Segalia 100 simply because it's made by a brand called Segalia, and it's capable of producing 100 watts. There's different box mods out there, like 30s, 40s, 50s, 100s, 150. I think there's even a 250 out there, but there's a use for it, but I'm not at that stage yet. And this is called an Aspire Atlantis. This is their top of the range tank. It's only been out for about 2 months now, and it's the ROM, like, it's perfect. As I said, it's about £30, which is quite expensive for a tank. The new coils are about, I think they're about £3.50, £4, and I replace mine every 2 weeks, so it's not actually that expensive to run. It's a lot of capital outlay in the first place. The reason why this is as good as I say it is a couple of reasons. First, you look at the intake on the top, that's pretty big, so you're getting a lot of smoke, a lot of room for your vape to come through, whereas on this, it's tiny. And the coil in this is rated at 0.5 ohms. I mean, sub-ohm vaping's been out there for a long time, it's nothing new, but it was all in the land of the drippers and the really serious enthusiasts, and no one could touch that. but Aspire really broke the market in terms of sub-ohm vaping that you can do on a tank. So obviously the great thing with this is all I have to do is put my liquid in it, I can carry it around. I mean, this is a 2 ml tank, and this will last me about a day, quite heavy. So I haven't got to the point where I've vaped it more than I need to refill up, but the bottles are really liquid, they're tiny, so if you're really that heavy a vapor, you can just carry some around with you and pop it up. So the next stage up from this, well, not this, but this, is called an RDA, rebuildable dripping atomizer, even. And because I do engineering, I find these really fascinating. They're a lot more customizable, and as you can see, it's quite small, but that's because it doesn't have a tank. What happens is take the top off and pop the deck out, and you get this. I'll show you that. So what that is you've got 4 posts, 2 positive and 2 negative on the outside, 2 coils which I built myself out of wire, and a wicking material. So the idea is that you get your liquid like this, drip it onto the top, soaks into the cotton wool, it vaporizes, and we'll go from there. But I'll do a later video about RDAs because there's a lot to cover. As I said, if you're looking to get into vaping, I wouldn't recommend one of these because it's quite fiddly, it's quite time consuming, but if you really do like it, it's something great to go into, and it's the clouds you get off. I mean, you saw this, they're even bigger, like you can fog the room out, they're that big. So obviously you've got your device, what about your liquids? So you use things called e-liquid to vape with, there's lots of different brands, lots of flavours, lots of strengths, this, that and the other, and it's a very, very personal thing. I mean, personally, I don't like the dessert flavours out there because I think they're a bit sickly and I feel like not very nice after vaping them. So I prefer fruity flavours. Some of the best brands out there, in my opinion, you've got something called Tea Juice, which is a British brand. It's very reasonable price wise. I think this is about £4 for 10 ml, which is really, really good, and it tastes lovely. Another thing though, when you look at the names, this is called Green Steam. Like, you look at that and think, what the hell? What does Green Steam taste like? I think Green Steam tastes like blueberries, raspberries. I think there's a bit of apple in there. It's quite refreshing, quite fruity, and it's a very nice flavour. A couple of other brands. You've got this one from Totally Wicked. They're one of the bigger online stores, and they do a lot of in-house stuff, like the Electron S, the Electron Pen, and they're all manufactured in-house. And they make some really good bottles. I mean, this is 50 ml and it's even cheaper. So this 50 ml bottle I think cost me £18, which is nothing in comparison. Then if you're really becoming a vaping connoisseur, this is the brand to go for in my opinion. It's called Halcyon Haze. Halcyon Haze is like the premium in-house brand of tea juice, and it's a bit more expensive for what you get. So this is a 20 ml bottle. Get it out. It's called Northern Lights. Again, Northern Lights, what does that taste like? They say it's licorice, blackcurrant, I think it's gin or absinthe with a mint menthol infusion on top. It's beautiful. It's quite fruity and it's quite light, and it's got this really nice tingle on the back, and it's the best in my opinion, but it's £13 for 20 ml, so it comes out about 50% more expensive than normal liquids. So that's flavours and liquid to size. A couple of the bits, when you look into them, they'll have different ratings. So, I mean, this one, I don't think this is in the front. I can't know what it does. So this one on the side, if you can see at the top, which you probably can't because it's on my laptop, this is a 60% PG, 40% VG mix. So what is PG and what is VG? PG is propylene glycol, and VG is vegetable glycerin. Both are natural ingredients, or naturally derived anyway, and they have different functions. So PG carries taste and it gives you a throat hit. So if you have a higher PG liquid, it will taste better, but it won't produce as big a clouds. Whereas on the other hand, VG is a thicker material, and it produces much bigger clouds, but doesn't carry vapor so well. So by mixing the two, usually at 50-50, 60-40, or you can get some 80-20 mixes, and even more, so you can get this, which is cloud chasing liquid, called Blue Moo again. Crazy. This is 90-95% VG and 5-10% PG, and this is what I use in my dripper. It doesn't taste as strong, or the flavours aren't as complex, but the clouds are out of this world. Last thing with liquids, different strengths. So depending on how many times you smoke a day, it would depend on how much nicotine you're used to getting. And so you need to find the right liquid for you, not too much, because eventually a lot of people want to do is bring their level down. So they might start at a high concentration liquid and bring it down, down, down. And I mean, this is 0%, so it doesn't give me a nicotine hit, but I just enjoy the clouds it produces. Like me, if you started on 20 a day, I'd try an 18mg liquid or 1.8%. If you're on about 10 a day, I'd go for a 12mg or a 1% liquid. Because I mean, as you can see, that says 1%, which is a bit confusing, and then you get this stuff, which is, you see that, 11mg. So generally the strengths are 24, 18, 12, 6 and 0. I mean, some brands do a 3, some brands do an 11, but generally if it's like within a couple of milligrams, it's what you want to be. So yeah, that's a bit about where I've come from. I'm going to do a couple of follow-up videos. Oh yeah, so where to get it from, bugger. So there are a lot of good online stores, especially my favourite one's UK e-cig store. I'll put links to them down here. I'll put some links up here to the other brands that I've mentioned so you can have a look at the kits. There's a lot of good reviews, etc. But personally, I'd say get down to your local vaping shop. I mean, most towns, if you're in a big city, I mean, I live in Bristol and there's 3 or 4 vaping shops. Just go down there. The guys in there are always really, really helpful. And they'll let you try out some kit, recommend what's good for you, and they'll just get you up and running and get you out. I mean, the vaping shop I've always been using is a place called Smoky Joe's up in Leamington. It's quite a new shop. It's only been there a couple of months, and they really, really are great. I can't recommend them enough. They've really helped me on my journey, etc. So if you live in the Midlands, Leamington, definitely go check them out. I'll put links to them up here again. So yeah, thank you for watching. I know it's been a bit weird, it's my first video, so I didn't know how it was going to go. So yeah, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.